Hello everyone! Welcome to Reddit Reactions, where real humans read and react to Reddit content. Today's Ask Reddit question is, why did you choose the career that you did? And I picked this question because this is a pretty deep, meaningful question. Figuring out what you want to do with your life is not an easy task at all. And it's something I love hearing people's stories about, because what you'll find is very, very, very few humans are like, oh, I'm going to be a microbiologist. And then they grow up and they become a microbiologist. That's not normally what humans do. Normally, we have all these dreams and aspirations, and we try one, don't really like it, figure out we actually prefer this thing, and then we end up finding out that we hate that, and what we really want to do is this, right? So let's see what Reddit teaches us. The first response to why did you choose the career you did by MTD074. I always wanted to be a scientist. I went to college and became a scientist. It turns out I liked reading about what scientists are doing and discovering, but the tedium of actually doing science was a total boring drag. Now I am a firefighter. Way more fun. That's funny because kids always are like, I want to be a firefighter, and then they end up being a scientist. But this person wanted to be a scientist and then became a firefighter. He's in touch with his inner child, or maybe she actually, I don't know. I'm afraid I may have a similar experience in college. Super awesome that you found something more fun, though. Another reply to why did you choose the career you did? A paramedic. I wanted to help people and have an exciting job. I didn't realize there was absolutely no money in it. I make $15 an hour working 24-hour shifts. Sheesh, that is insane. Here in Nicaragua, $15 an hour is life-changingly good money. For reference, if you earned $15 an hour in Nicaragua, you would be in the top 1%. It's funny how that changes things, right? And I used to reside in the US, so I was like, $4 an hour, people can earn that much money? Oh, that's abuse. And things like $10 an hour, oh, that's penny pay. That's like what a kid getting their first job earns, right? But here in Nicaragua, $5 an hour is a great, great job. $10 an hour, you're earning next level money. $15 an hour, Jesus. This reply by Medieval Scientist. I like history and science, but didn't really want to pick one over the other. Boom! Hello, preservation science! You are my dream job. Congrats on finding something that combined your passions. I wish I could find something like that. Making software. I love software development. Building apps and server software feels like absolute magic. I got into it because I always loved computers and creating things, so it's a natural fit. I've said that using Android Studio feels like casting magic spells. It is super fun. I'll have to check that out. Reply to that by Izzy. Embedded software engineer here. I get to write code for toys and make ancient processors do things you'd think are way beyond them. I've got an entire mesh network system running on 8-bit microcontrollers at 8 megahertz with 1 kilobyte of RAM total. All because I wanted to build a laser tag grenade when I was 14 and never stopped digging into how microcontrollers worked. A laser strike grenade? Laser tag grenade? That sounds cool. Restaurant manager. I thought a promotion was a good thing. Here I am, 18 years later, and oops. I work in a restaurant, and this is literally the story of one of my bosses. Well, that's sad. Well, it's sad if you're not enjoying it. This reply by Joe Clark. A chef. Learned to cook from my German grandmother, so it just came naturally. A locomotive engineer. Everyone thinks I'm smart. Then I tell them, not that kind of engineer. Oh, I guess because you drive. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because a locomotive engineer is a driver of a train, whereas nuclear engineer is somebody who creates nuclear-related inventions and patterns and designs and stuff. So I could see, okay, I get what they're saying. Engineer being a driver. Retail got stuck. That is not a good answer to why did you choose the career you did. I thought that would be for my life. I ended up having to do several training courses, then 2 years of voluntary admin work, all while working retail, just to accrue enough experience to stop being a retail slave. Retail isn't all equal, guys. Like, if you hate retail, retail does suck in a lot of places, but it's more of a reflection on humanity because most people aren't able to appreciate the things they have. And don't get me wrong, like, I've worked some retail jobs and they can be very draining. Like, it's very unhealthy as a human to be in a scenario where you cannot use your own intelligence to fix the problems in front of you. And in retail, you never use your own intelligence to fix the problems in front of you. You do what you told, and even if you can do something better, you're not allowed to. And that sucks. That's really bad, right? I get it. I absolutely get that retail is hard for people. But as a person who worked, I worked at Starbucks for almost 4 years, and everybody in Starbucks was complaining about it. But the reality was Starbucks was way better than other retail options. You got health insurance, you got stock in the company, you had flexibility, you could switch from full-time to part-time, and you had no fear of retribution or being fired. You could study whatever you want, and Starbucks would even pay for your entire college degree. So anybody who bitches about working for Starbucks is a fucking idiot. Like, absolutely. That being said, the retail world can suck you in, but it's important to understand, like, we live in a time where you can leverage the internet and create content online and take control of your life. And especially if you don't have a family or anything like that, you don't have anything holding you down, there's nothing stopping you from changing where you live and earning money online and moving to a country where $400 or $500 a month is absolutely all you need. Granted, me saying this, you might be like, ha, who would actually do that? I get it. But I'm just saying, you have options. You're alive, your heart's beating, you have options. So try not to bitch and moan too much, okay? I'm a teacher. 3 reasons: June, July, and August. Oh, I also like being a role model for my students, and I never have a boring day. Hey, a happy teacher, that's cool. Must not work for public schools. Teaching, because I got tired of working in insurance. Better hours, and the students are easier to deal with than clients. That seems like quite a change. I'm glad you found something that you like better. This reply to why did you choose the career you did? I like books, and I hate customer-facing jobs. Now I'm a librarian, and I work face-to-face with patrons constantly. Whee! For real, I love what I do and quickly outgrew the librarians hide in stacks and never have to talk to people mindset. I specialize with outreach, so I get to go out in the community and witness for the library, as I like to put it. I kind of arbitrarily fell into nursing. I tried to commit suicide and spent 3 months in a hospital when I was 17. Through that, I gained an interest in pathology and pharmacology. Chose the program on a fluke and got in. I did fantastic through school, graduating with accolades and a 4.0. Just graduated in April and have never looked back. I think this career chose me, as people say. Oh my God, that is a beautiful story. Like, so you could argue that if this person hadn't tried to kill themselves, they might have not gotten their career path. That's pretty insane. That's one thing that's like, if you know anyone who's struggling or suicidal, try and be more understanding to them. Or if you are being suicidal, don't think you're alone. Like, you'd be surprised how many humans go through suicidal periods in their life or even try to kill themselves. The reality is that most humans lie. They exaggerate the good numbers and they hide the bad numbers. And most people are never going to tell you when they got an abortion or they tried to kill themselves or bad, hurtful, hard to hear stuff like that. They're never going to say it. But just because they don't talk about it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. So if you're going through something like this, please keep in mind that there's tons of people who also have gone through that. And there's some crazy, successful, amazing, happy people who you would think were just that way their entire lives, but they actually attempted to end their life like 10 or 15 years ago. You'd be amazed. People come a long way from rock bottom, so to speak. So just stay alive a little bit longer. Just keep going. Take it day to day, and you'll get there, right? After all, what do you have to lose? Next. Another response. So why did you choose the career you did? Oh, artificial intelligence. Because it is fucking awesome and I love math and coding. Hey, AI is the future. It's a good place to go to. It's kind of funny that people they talk about the job and then they may talk about why they got it. When what's most useful to other people is actually what didn't work and the struggles and why they got there. It doesn't really matter what job they ended up getting. What matters is sharing all the vulnerabilities that led them to knowing what they want to do, you know? But people don't share that information. So irritating. Like this, exactly. Look, this comment is perfect. If you're comfortable, can you please explain what your job involves? A day-to-day description would be great. Huh. I went into accounting after my gap year, after high school, just because I randomly decided, so I don't know why, I just always wanted to. I work in finance now, and I don't regret anything. Also, not very useful for people trying to figure out what to do. Aerospace engineer. I grew up between two countries very far apart, and was always amazed by the machines that could be taken back and forth between the two places in what is just hours. So I wanted to help make them better and safer. Okay, a little bit useful. Ooh, a longer post by Sean Carter, 90. Accountant. I went into college as a business economics major, wanting to do something business-oriented, but I had no idea what. Halfway through sophomore year, my mom died, and my dad wasn't going to be able to support me after graduation. So I concluded that I had to graduate with a job. I realized that people in my major were easily going into accounting, and I took a few classes and liked them, so decided why not try. I ended up securing an internship the summer before my senior year, with an offer when the internship ended. I spent 4 years in public accounting before switching to private industry, where I've been an accountant at a private equity firm for 6 years. Overall, I like it enough, and the money is great. I kind of lucked out that I basically backed into this profession, but I can see myself doing it until I retire. Thank you! Okay, see, this isn't crazy useful, but they at least explained what they're going through. They explained that they got a job because they needed to make sure that they could work right out of college and not go home and try and find a job for 8 years. Relevant. Film production. I've been loving cinema for as long as I can remember. When we had film projects, I've always loved them, and I loved my film courses in high school. So, it seemed logical. This reply to why are none of these people answering this question right? The question is, why did you choose the career path you did? Not, what is your job? But every single one of these freaking posts starts with picking the career title. Graphic design. Always loved art and design and went back to school to finish my degree. Knew going in that it's a tough field and competitive, but I'm doing well and making a good living. Awesome. Any super competitive fields have always scared me away, but that sounds awesome. Congrats to you. I just worked my way up the ranks at the place I started working when I turned 18. Hey, they actually answered the question. What? When my parents divorced, my dad had left behind a HTML for Dummies quick reference book. I was bored one summer, so I worked through the book and started building my own terrible web page. I got hooked on the feeling, ooga chaka, of typing code and seeing something visual come out of it. Took a college prep course in high school for programming, using actual programming languages, then continued in college. I don't know what it is, man. Just gets me giddy every time I see code working. Even when it's not, it's an adventure to get it going. Admirable. Absolutely. You know, the recurring theme in a lot of these is pay attention to the shit you enjoy or whatever you're interested in, the stuff you spend your time doing. Seems to be quite relevant when choosing a career path. Fitness and kinesiology. Oh yeah, hey, another person who's answering the question, what career path do you have? I wanted to be able to wear gym clothes for the rest of my life. Also, not a serious answer. I doubt that this person was like, I'm going to think of all the possible options in the world. And you know what's most important to me is being able to wear gym clothes forever. But I get it. People just try and be funny. Maybe they're funny. I guess that's kind of funny. It's kind of like a joke, you know. But I want to get useful information for people, not silly, dumb, one-lining jokes. Engineer. Oh, hey, yeah. Thanks again for answering the wrong question the original poster asked. I can slay calculus, and I'm good with tools and design. I also developed a lactose allergy at 20. What? Got a random boner in the 100 class. Figured it's as good of a reason as any. Worked out pretty well. Okay, that's a better joke. At least if you gotta have some kind of poop joke or dick joke or vagina joke or boobs. Everyone loves boobs. That's humor, right? I'm kind of stuck in a call center, but I'm hoping to get off phones in the next 2 years. I actually make okay money, nothing crazy, and have pretty good benefits. Again, not answering why you're in the call center. What is up with all these people? When I was 6 or 7, I really wanted to be a model. My friend told me that all models could barely eat anything and always had to diet. Well, my fat ass wasn't having an inch of that, so I decided on that day I would make clothes for the models instead. I am now a fashion designer. Thank you! They ended the answer with the career after explaining why they picked that career. Look at that, they actually answered the question, and oh, look. It has something to do with paying attention to your childhood and your interests. Oh, who would have guessed? Ooh, by Slender Gordon in response to why did you choose the career you did? I'm almost 30. Just started my first class for a bachelor's of business with a certified financial planning certificate. I love everything finance and I'm excited to help others become financially literate. Only 3 years left till I'm done and I couldn't be more eager to start my new path. I'm currently a pharmacy tech, and I have been for close to 10 years. I hate it. I've tried retail, management, hospital, IV compounding. All the tasks are just so menial and boring that I've basically hit the salary cap. Fellow 30-year-old here. I love finance. I got my bachelor's in finance and sociology. I got an MBA. I wanted to help people with their financial literacy, too. Being a financial advisor was horrible. It's a sales job, and a brutal sales job. No one wants to talk to you, and if they do, you're supposed to sell them heavy front-loaded funds. Rather than helping them, you often just take 5% of their money in commission, or else you don't eat. Hopefully you find a better career in the field than I did. Godspeed. Hey, look at that. Useful. Yeah, I love it when people post useful replies. Oh, look, another person answering the wrong question. Animator. One, most likely to become an artist in middle school. Knew I had a knack for it. Didn't realize creative careers were realistic till I sorted out in high school. Now, I do my hobby for a living. Nice, that's sweet. Remember, it always boils down to your childhood, and if you don't remember, well, guess what? You got to reconnect with your little child. And you do that by revisiting every single book, every single cartoon, every single movie, every single person, everything you ever remember about being a kid. And I guarantee you will figure out what you like, and if you don't know what you're passionate about, that is the secret to figuring it out. I never chose to be a writer. That's just the brain I was dealt. And it's taken me a long while to grow into the ever undeniable fact that I could never be happy any other way. Ha, crazy. All right, everybody, if you want to make these kind of videos, please reach out to us. We are developing software that you record your screen while you're exploring and reacting to things other people have said, and you make content that way. It allows you to express yourself without having to spend hours and hours and hours and hours editing 20 minutes of video. All right, everybody, if you want to get in touch with us, please go to our About page on our YouTube channel, click the For Business Inquiries, do the little CAPTCHA code, and send us an email saying hello. We want to have a Zoom call with you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.